We just got some crazy announcements during Unreal Fest for UEFN and Fortnite Creative, but there's a lot of stuff that was revealed that wasn't included in the opening show for Unreal Fest. They showed off a lot of new features about Discover. We also got a bunch of roadmap updates too, and in this video I'm gonna break them all down. So there's a few new things in the roadmap. We got the Disguise device. Now they talked about a little bit of this when they were talking about Squid Game, but this device will allow you to change the disguise of the player. It's a cosmetic override, so you'll be able to change the look of the player like instantly. Now I'm pretty sure it's only a curated list. You can't change it to whatever you want, but it's kind of like you know, the phone booths. We also have a new carryable spawner device which allows us to carry random stuff. So it's kind of like it's the snowballs you get from the snowmen, but we can customize it like officially. I know you could customize it before, but you can customize it now. We also got the voting group device and also the voting options device. The voting group device is basically enables people to make polls and they'll be able to vote on things like the next map to play or which player gets voted out of the round and stuff like that. And the voting options device, it pairs with the voting group device and it sets up the different options that the player can pick. And then also for the skilled interaction device, we're getting a multiplayer expansion which allows us to use multiplayer with the skilled interaction device. And it can be queued serially, randomly, or synchronously. Synchronous lets us do it at the same time for every single player, but other ones will let us like queue it or whatever we want. There's also going to be a team invite emote that allows players to do an emote that just lets another player team up with them, which is pretty cool. Of course, we're getting the persona device, which is like the AI NPC device. And there also will be a viewport toolbar update, which I think is coming soon. So there's quite a lot of cool stuff in the roadmap. Now, besides the roadmap, well, let's actually talk about Discover now. If you don't know, during Unreal Fest, they showed off a lot of new features about Discover. Let's start with this new Discover layout. And look at this, it looks beautiful. Basically, what they've done is that they've merged the home screen with Browse. So Browse is no longer just a little like the little magnifying glass on the top left. It's now you have the search bar at the top, and then you have Discover, Following, Recently Played, Favorites, and Collections. It's beautiful, bro. It's beautiful. This is really cool because it's actually integrating creators. It's integrating searching for stuff. It's integrating For You at the very top right there. It was already there, but you know what I mean. I think Epic said this in their Discover blog where they were talking about how they're going to eventually make everything Discover personalized and only focused on recommendations. Now this combined with a feature that I'm going to talk about pretty soon. Oh, I don't even care. I'm just going to talk about it right now. Similarity Score. Similarity Score is a new feature that will add protections against copying other people's maps. Newly published islands will be scored on title and thumbnail, similarity to existing games. Exact matches of thumbnails and titles will be blocked completely from publishing. Maps with very high scores can publish, but you will be warned that you might be downranked in Discover. And that's a new thing, which is downranking in Discover. Basically, downranking islands won't appear in trending, For You, text search, or new and updated rows. They can still appear in stuff like your favorite creators' islands and stuff like that, but it won't appear in those. Now this is pretty groundbreaking stuff right here. Epic also went on to mention that it's going to come out later this summer, and it will only apply to new islands with possibly plans to them expanding that to older islands, but I'm not really sure how this is going to work. I don't know if we're ever going to do it. Unless if they find a way to get the back catalog of maps in Fortnite. I know there's a lot of them. There's like 98% of them. Nobody's playing. Maybe they might decide to add in features to reintroduce old maps back into the ecosystem. And maybe then that might be more of an issue, but we'll see. Also, it doesn't count for the maps you've made, so you can make like something to 1 or something 2, something 3. Honestly, I think this is a great feature. I think we've needed this for quite a while. This is also just going to straight up prevent people spamming hundreds of thousands of maps at the same time that are just the exact same map over and over again. And I think for the overall health of Discover, this is a great change. You'll see more unique maps and people will be able to find more unique maps, and being more unique is finally being rewarded. Then they went over some pretty interesting metrics about the average idle rate of players in certain modes. So you can see how Team Deathmatch is a bit higher, like 23%, but Survival down there is a lot lower, 12%. You can read all the information there, pretty interesting. They also went over Discover Score, and Discover Score again is driven by key metrics like, as you can see with this little chart, unique users in 96 hours, minutes per player 96 hours, click-through rate, and survey fun score, and that equals your Discover Score. If you're also curious, they also went over how they actually calculate the Discover Score, which is this math right here. It basically lets them weigh different things. So, for example, they can weigh the percentage of something against like a number, like of players, as like a standardized numerical number. They then went over new content testing, you know, the same stuff we already knew. But they also clarified that the impressions for this do not count from search, the library, or recently played, which I think they actually said search does count during their live stream the other day, so that's a nice little clarification. He also went over sophistication score and how that affects you, how new content is tested. And like I've said in my other video, that includes development effort, usage of devices, animation sequencers, verse code, and more. And reusing verse code, devices, or systems from pre-existing islands is also not a problem. They then went over how search works, which is, you know, they use a hybrid approach combining two algorithms like keyword matching and semantic search, you know, pretty crazy stuff right there. They then went over how For You works. They got the top islands from the ecosystem according to Discover score. It's roughly approximately 2,000 islands at any given point. The top islands are determined per genre to ensure variety is maintained in possible recs. And I think recs is just short for recommendations. And after the player plays the game, recommendations update. So every single time you go back and discover, your recommendations will be different. That little like graph there is how they chart it out with islands being placed in a space based on their embeddings, apparently. Kind of like a little visual right there. And again, they talk about more of the technical details like encoding features and holistically understand the experience. So you have like a different number like 0.1, minus 2.3, 4.9, and those all mean different things for the ecosystem. And like I said in my other video, it all counts like titles, descriptions, tags, thumbnails, and also your gameplay telemetry also affect how For You detects what kind of island your island is and how, you know, players interact with it and what kind of experience it should be and which players it should give it to. And they also try to optimize it so players will play islands in a sequence, so they'll play them one after another, which is pretty interesting. And this is a new feature they're actually going to be adding pretty soon. It's the negative symbol that players can use now, which is not interested. Whenever you're recommending or favoring the island, you can now press not interested and it'll do a not interested signal. It's also in Discover where you can do a little drop down and say not interested. I know you might say, oh, I don't want people disliking my map. It's kind of negative feedback. I don't like it. But honestly, I think this is really good because it'll let Epic and Discover know so it can be recommended to more people that actually like your map rather than people who don't like your map. And then the players who play the actual maps will actually find maps they actually want to play. So let's say little Timmy likes playing Red vs. Blues. We're favored to recommend the Red vs. Blues, not interested. The, you know, other kind of maps that he don't like, and he'll only get Red vs. Blues and he's happy. And then let's say other guy, he wants to play more, you know, like survival horror, but he doesn't like Red vs. Blues. He can not favorite the Red vs. Blues, and he'll get more survival horrors and whatever else that he likes. So everyone is happy. This is the Discover we needed for a long time, and thank goodness they're finally doing it. Except they went about favorite creator, and they were talking about, you know, how favorite creators have been growing. We're about like 43 million favorites in total ever since December this year. Next up, they showed a chart about text chat, which shows the different graphs of text chat. Anyways, next up is another new feature that I think we're new about, but it's Discover quests and XP. This will add quests for Discover, so you have to play different categories in Discover. They're also going to be adding better actor handling and detection for, you know, XP exploits, like, you know, stuff like that, XP glitches. They're upgrading the XP system for better stability between releases, so I'm guessing that's calibration, and improving XP parity between creative islands, whatever that means. They've also shown the queue times in creator analytics, I think, which should be out right now. And you can see a little chart right there, which shows all your queue times. This is really helpful for people who are trying to find games. Anywho, those are some of the big updates that you may have missed in Unreal Fest yesterday. Okay, as the outro of this video, I need to talk about something, alright? This is unrelated to anything in this video, but the map showcase video is a bit delayed, I know. It's going to be coming out soon. I've just been super busy the past week, so it will be slightly delayed because of that. Okay, it's not my fault. Epic releases all the new news at the start of the month, okay? I got all the new AI stuff that I want to test out. Anyways, there's a lot of stuff I need to do, so it's going to be delayed a little bit, okay? I'm sorry, okay? Anyways, besides that, thanks for watching the video. Remember to like, subscribe, use my code in the Fortnite shop, and thank you to all the members of the channel for all your continued support of me. Anyways, remember to watch all these videos for more of my content. Let me know if I missed anything about all the new stuff. But anyways, that's about it. I'll see you all around.